Welcome, everybody, to the College Basketball Preview Show on the Grueling Truth Sports Network. I'm your host, Mike Goodpaster, and today we're going to look at tonight's nationally televised battle on Fox Network as the Purdue Boilermakers will battle the UCLA Bruins. This is a huge game for Purdue, who've been on a gigantic slide as of late as teams have figured out how to beat them, which is get the ball in the post. The Purdue Boilermakers hit their high watermark after a 90-72 win over USC in West Lafayette on February 7th. That made them 19-5, 11-2 in the conference, and they looked poised to win Matt Painter another Big Ten regular season championship. But since then, they've lost 4 straight games to drop to 11-6 in the Big Ten, 19-9 overall, and basically dropped themselves out of any chance to win a Big Ten regular season championship. Now, UCLA is going to be looking to jump the Purdue Boilermakers, who are struggling in West Lafayette tonight. UCLA had a disappointing week last week. They were 1-1. They did bounce back and get a win over the Ohio State Buckeyes, but earlier in the week they had a loss that never should have happened to Minnesota, 64-61 at UCLA. Now, Purdue was favored by 4.5 points in this game. And I think Purdue desperately needed an extended rest more than maybe any team in the country. But that's not the biggest reason I see the Boilermakers possibly bouncing back tonight. Purdue desperately misses Zach Edey, but not so much on the offensive end. Braden Smith, Trey Kaufman-Renn, Fletcher Loyer lead one of the more efficient units in the Big Ten. They rank third in the conference in offensive rating. Defensively, though, Matt Painter's group desperately needs a rim protector. And without 7'4" freshman Daniel Jacobson, who has been out since the second game of the season, they don't have one. Purdue allows opponents to shoot 70% on attempts at the rim. It's third in the country. And they give up third worst in the country. And they give up 31.3 points in the paint a game. Indiana had close to right around 40 points in the paint. UCLA, however, is in the first percentile in the country in percentage of field goal attempts at the rim, barely over 20%. UCLA's leading scorers, Tyler Bilodeau and Eric Daly Jr., both score fewer than 25% of their points in the paint. Sophomore guard Sebastian Mack pressures the rim as a driver, but a 6'3" Kaufman-Renn and Caleb Furst should provide some resistance. Purdue is not good. It's not a good defensive team. They're just not, especially on the interior. But this matchup against UCLA, I believe, is favorable for Purdue. I think Purdue is going to win this game. I think they're going to win it fairly convincingly. I mean, these games are all about matchups. And the matchups right now are this. When you look at Indiana, Indiana's a team that if your interior defense is not very good, you're going to struggle. UCLA, you can't say the same thing about. UCLA, all Mick Cronin's are known as offensive team or defensive teams with very little offense. They have very little presence on the inside either, just like Purdue. I think this matchup is good for Purdue. They get 5 days off. I think Matt Painter is a good basketball coach. I mean, hell, people want to bitch. He was in the national championship game against UConn last year. And that UConn team was far superior to Purdue. So Matt Painter didn't choke and lose that game. UConn was just a better team. But I think tonight, Purdue will turn it around a little bit. I still question this team if they're playing teams that have an inside presence. I don't know how far they can go like that. But I think they get the win tonight. I think they cover the 4.5 points. If you want to bet the game, the top sportsbook to bet the game on is BetMGM. You can click on the link in the description down below in the video. Make sure you follow me on X at Grueling Truth. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification on YouTube. But for now, I'm Mike Goodpaster. You've been watching and listening to The Grueling Truth, where the legends speak.